I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in reality TV, entertainment, sports, entrepreneurship, and so much more. Nick Durst here, along with Joe Calabrese. And Joe, I don't know what I could say about our guest other than he's a big one. He's a big guest, and he's joined a lot of his former castmates and good friends as a member of the You Know I'm Right Guest Club.
Absolutely. So recently, you and I had the privilege of attending the Big Brother 26 premiere party here in New York City, and we got to connect with a lot of people who were on the show with us. Got to meet a whole lot of new people. We're very, very happy about that. So our guest today, he was on a previous season of Big Brother 23. You might remember him because he was the runner-up. He is the son of a legend, so we'll get to that, and he's doing some things on the side, right? So it's like he's with the Heavy Crown Network, talks about reality TV. We're very, very happy to have him on. You're right, he is a big D, Derek Frazier. Derek, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you so much, Joseph, and thank you so much, Nick, for the great introduction. I truly appreciate being here. I know we are long overdue, and I am so sorry it took me so long to get here. I promise you I was not just like ghosting you guys. That is not my style at all. But yes, we did get a chance to see each other in New York, and I was so glad because I was like, oh my God, the podcast that we talked about. And I am here and I want to make sure that, I deliver, and I'm glad we can sit down and have this conversation. And please don't worry about me. I'm just a little old boy from Philadelphia, nothing crazy.
Yes, I remember.
Apologies accepted.
Yeah, I remember like we were gonna have Big D on. We had Hannah on. I think Hannah was talking to us about a bunch of reality TV shows, something about
Yes.
Derek came up, and then Derek was gonna come on. But we're here now, we're making it happen, and there's a lot for us to discuss about everything that's going on. We're gonna talk about you, of course, in a moment, but I want to just ask you, what are you a fan of as far as reality TV shows? And obviously you were in the Big Brother sphere, but are you a Real Housewives guy? Do you watch The Bachelor? What's your go-to?
I am a drag race guy, so
Okay.
I am a big RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm also my guilty pleasure. Love baddies, any type of fighting. I am 100% involved
Bad
because
Girls Club.
yes, I can only do a little bit of talking. I come from Philadelphia, so I do like the Housewives. And then, you know what? I am a challenge fan. Like I'm a back in the day challenge fan.
Yeah.
Like
Old school.
everyone looked different. Everyone was able to drink. Everybody was able to like curse each other out.
Right.
Uh,
Now it's
but
like, everyone's like gotta be a superior athlete.
yeah, I'm over that. That's what I have the Olympics for Paris
All right.
2024. I don't need
Right.
these like reality stars thinking they're Olympians because they're not. So, it's it's just weird. But hey, everything has to change, everything involved. So I'm here for the glow up.
All right. So we gotta ask about, the epic nickname Big D. How did you come up with that? Did people call you that growing up? And you came in the house, you're like, call me Big D, and it just stuck from the first day.
Yeah. You know what? When I was younger, I had a screen name. We used to have AIM and AOL. I don't
Yeah,
know if you guys
of
have
course.
went through that phase. I feel like you guys are
Yeah.
younger than me. Okay.
So we're the
But
same age. We're all 32 here.
okay, perfect, perfect. So, growing up, I had this horrible screen name because my friends used to call me Big D. And it was like Big D, aka Scorpio 17. You
Oh
know,
no, Nick, you just gave another question away. Whoops.
He's a Scorpio.
oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I am a Scorpio. I'm
Well,
so
we'll get to that later. But so go ahead,
But
continue.
it was like that was my screen name. So when I walked into the house, here's the thing: when we were going through the process of like getting our wardrobe, I was nervous because you could see people's like sometimes you can see people's names or whatever on like other things. So I saw another Derek. And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna replace me. This other Derek is gonna replace me because you're still not in the house. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And it was just crazy because they were like another Derek spelled the same way. And then I was like, just call me Big D because I am gonna go through the Derek and Derek F and Derek, Derek X. And I was like, no, just call me Big D at this point. And I was like, you could be Little D, which I tried to make stick, but He was like,
How's little D doing these days?
you
I
know
wish you would
what?
have saw him at the party.
You know what little D is, he has moved on from these parties.
Yeah.
I guess he's just booked and busy, but I do talk to Claire, and I told her I missed her and she told me she missed me. So I can't wait to see Claire. But yeah, I haven't, they live in their West Coast dream. So unless you're on the West Coast,
The Amazing Race champs.
yeah,
Yeah.
they won their money, they're happy. So, all I can say is you're welcome. Because without that cookout storyline, I don't know if y'all would have got called to come back. But I'm glad they did. They deserved it, and it was well earned for sure.
How about your boy Frenchie? What's going
Um,
on with your boy Frenchie? Because he came out when he won that week, and that was like the
Unbelievable.
hardest gameplay I've ever seen in the history. I mean,
I
Angela
loved it.
this season came in really, really hard, but I mean,
It wasn't on
Frenchie,
that level.
he
It
was
wasn't on
going
that.
next level back then.
I would give Angela, based on what's happened so far this first week, it's kind of this underneath Frenchie, but I
Yeah.
don't think anybody has topped Frenchie yet.
Frenchie was so paranoid. It was crazy. And you're like,
It
calm
was.
down, man. It's all good.
You know what? I am very thankful that we did have safety that week, because I wouldn't be surprised if Frenchie turned on me and was like, I'm gonna put you up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised based on how he was moving. But it was a very what can I say? It was crazy, but Frenchie's good. I just texted him the other week just to see how he was doing and stuff. So he's doing well. We're long overdue. I haven't seen him since I got out the Big Brother house. So, he's doing well.
Yeah, from our vantage point, Nick and I, we could see the Big Brother connections, how all you guys make families. Even if it doesn't start out great, all you guys end up staying and becoming friends, which is good, which is the total opposite of the place that you grew up in. They call it the city of brotherly love, but it gets a certain reputation. So what was it like growing up in the mean streets of Philadelphia? Nick and I were from New York. We're rivals, unfortunately. Got right up I-95. What was it like growing up in Philadelphia?
It was very interesting. I grew up with my mother. She was a single parent. My mother always tells me I don't give her credit. So shout out to Sherry Gibson, my mother. And it was interesting because, my dad traveled a lot for work, and, you know, uh, it's one of those things where when you grow up in the type of lifestyle, you have to learn quickly. Like, you got to be on your feet. Like, you can't, not saying you can't be a little kid. It's just like you're a little kid one day, but the next day you're like two times older than what you are, because you have to look out for yourself. The streets of Philadelphia, it's rough. Okay. So you got to be on your toes. You got to be street smart. You got to be ready. But it was very interesting. I went to Catholic school, but I still hung out on the streets. So I feel like I got the education part, but I also got the street smarts. But luckily, having my dad around, having my mom around, giving me the guidance and the lectures that I needed really did help me set me up for life. And then, my mom decided to send me to military school. So that was a big changer. But I needed it because it really did, not saying I wasn't the best at times. I was hard-headed. But I'm very thankful for it because it set me up to have that, like, what's the word? God, just to be like, I'm gonna be honest, to be like lethal, because it was like I already had the street smarts.
Yeah.
I already was raised by Joe Frazier's son. I had my mom's knowledge, and then I just needed to kind of just bring all that together. And once I went to military school, I really learned how to be on my own at a young age at 14. But I still went home because my military school was still close to Philadelphia.
All right.
So I stayed there on campus, but on the weekends, I would come home to Philadelphia. So it was very interesting. I will tell you that. I mean, it wasn't easy. I had my fair share of fights.
Hmm.
I dabble and dabble some things I should have never done when I was young. But it taught me lessons. It definitely taught me lessons, and I was always ready.
Be honest here. When you're watching Cadet Kelly back in the day with
Oh
Hillary
God.
Duff, were you like, I don't see the relation here. This is not like my military school at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. My military school was from seventh grade all the way up until college sophomores. It was all boys. And it was the real deal. Like I went through a whole 6 week boot camp where they shave your head. You can't talk to your parents for like 6 weeks. Like you go through a whole training. It's some intense stuff. Um, and it was like basically understanding how to be on your own and learn how to
Mhm.
be on your own. So nothing like Cadet Kelly. Of course we had our times where it got fun as the years went on, like you move up in rank. But I will tell you, going to Valley Forge Military Academy did teach me about how to get through life. And it definitely helped me for that Big Brother game. I will tell you that. Because
Made
I
you
was
mentally
able to
strong.
Yeah.
I was able to know how to take a leadership role and how to like get people to do what I need you to do because I did it at an early age in military school. Like I needed kids to clean the corridors, clean the bathroom, do this, listen to what I'm saying. So command a room. So it was like clockwork for me.
Mhm.
Speaking of commanding a room,
Oh God.
fighting and learning how to fight,
Yeah.
you mentioned it. You are the son of Smokin Joe Frazier. Comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility. Talk to
Yeah.
us what it was like growing up with your dad, having him be a professional boxer, the training, the schedule, the
Yeah.
traveling, everything that came with being the son of one of our country's most legendary and most famous athletes.
Thank you. It was very unique. I had the older side of Joe Frazier. So I had the signing autographs, taking pictures, kissing babies, and things like that. So I got a chance to see more of the glitz, but I still saw the hardship. Being there when he had his gym opening, watching him train other fighters, also training me. He taught me how to fight and how to protect myself because no matter what, it's just what you got to do. Um, he also taught me a lot of wisdom. And it was cool. My dad, he used to drive around in Cadillacs in Philadelphia. He would come pick me up. My dad would not let me take the bus. He was like, no, we're not doing that. Because, Philadelphia is rough. So he would get worried. But he was a very good, responsible dad. And he was able to really make sure like I had all the knowledge I needed. I would say one of the cool parts for me was actually when I was young, I got a chance to like watch the Ali Frazier fight with him and hear his commentary afterwards, like what was really going on through his head and what was happening. And I'll never forget that. That meant like the world to me because that's like something no one can ever sit there and say they can do. Um, but he always made sure I was good. He looked after me. He looked after my mom, and I do miss him a lot.
Of
know,
course.
and it was just to watch him like fight every day because he when he got older he wasn't able to do as much so I was always the one like making sure he's good, making sure, hey, you left your phone open, hey, you dropped your keys, like just
Yeah.
making sure I was there for him just like he was there for me. But it was very interesting. I learned so much from him. And you can never take that away, but it was cool. I would tell you, it was cool. I always got a chance to have like the first like fight night games when they used to come out. Like they used to send them to him first, and then he'd be like, I don't know what to do with this shit. So he like, yes, like like it was cool, but it's also awkward. Like, could you imagine? Like, there was times I had to fight him, and then I had to fight Ali, and he's sitting there in the room while I'm playing video games. But just the pressure of just making sure he was always proud of me and making sure he was always good. So yeah, it
Well,
was
you've done a
interesting.
great job. I'm sure he was proud and he still is proud. And, I think you had the perfect combination of parents there to get you through those
Yeah.
days in Philadelphia. Let's talk about some positive of Philadelphia though, and that is the cheesesteaks. So did you have a go-to place for cheesesteaks?
I do. So my go-to place of cheesesteaks is Jim's Cheesesteaks or Angelo's
Okay.
Cheesesteak. Those are the best two. And then there's one more.
So I think the real Philadelphians do not go to Pat's and Gino's.
No,
That's
you
a
Tourist,
know.
mistake.
the
Oh,
tourist trap.
Yeah.
oh my God. If you go to Pat's and Geno's, you really are a tourist. Like if you're from Philadelphia, you know those are not the best cheesesteaks.
Big D, what another D place, D'Alessandro's. What do you
Alessandro's
think?
Yes.
has a
Oh
good
my God.
spot.
Yes, that's what it was. Thank you. I
Right?
forgot. I forgot. Yes. So Alessandro's, Jim's, and Angelo's, I forgot. So Angelo's and Jim's is down in South Philly, but D'Alessandro's is actually near my house up in Manioc. So it is a very, very like I love it. Speaking of it, I probably need to put it on my list of things I need to go get very soon. So I probably need to stop by D'Alessandro's. But yeah, if you're from Philadelphia, you go. People want to say go to Pat's, go to Geno's. It's just because like they're landmarks and they were like places back in
It's
the
like a show.
day.
I was like, oh, you want to go to Times Square?
Yeah, it's
No, I
just
don't want
like
to go to Times
No, we
Square.
don't gotta want to Times Square. I want to
correct.
get
Like
that away
nobody
from
wants
us.
to, right? No one wants to go to Times Square, but it's just like, oh, like let me go see the Rocky statue. Let me go see a
Yeah.
fake boxer. Sure, like it's like these like fake places. But if you're a true Philadelphian, you know that's not the best cheesesteaks. Like we know that. So yeah.
So for you, what was the process like to audition for Big Brother? Was it something that you contemplated for a while? Did you watch the show previously? And then what made you decide, all right, this is it. Let me try to audition.
Yeah. So I actually did not watch the show previously. I had an old friend of mine who introduced me to the show, and when I saw that Tamar Braxton was on it and like the Housewives, the
Oh
people
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm
Good
watching
season.
I'm watching this because I love drama. So I'm like, yeah, I'm watching this. And that was a celebrity season. I think that was the second celebrity season or whatever I think it was.
Yeah, with
Uh,
like Lola Jones, Eva Marie,
yes, and Candy
Tamar.
Burris
Yep.
and all that
Good
other stuff.
season.
Yeah. So I was
Was
like, all
Tom
right,
Green in that one?
Tom Green
Diego
was in.
Kyland. Yeah, that was a good
Yep.
season.
Yep. Tom Green is in that one. So I watched that, and then after that season was the season, I think it was season I want to say it's either 19 or 20. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was like Bailey and Fessy and Rockstar and all them on that season. If I'm correct, I hope I'm talking about the same season. And that was my first Big Brother season I watched. But I was a little bit kind of not entertained because I was like, oh, this thing's taking forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. But that was years prior. That was years prior before I auditioned for Big Brother. So that was like before COVID.
Mhm.
That my friend introduced me to it. And then the year that I lost my job, which was 20, like I think I got introduced to Big Brother in 2018. 2020, when I lost my job, I was like, I'm always auditioning for stuff. I was trying to get on Real World. I was trying to get on Amazing Race.
Mhm.
I was trying to do anything that was going to allow me to talk to the camera and use my skills of entertaining because I love talking and entertaining people. It's just what I do. And when I lost my job, I was like, you know what? I'm put this audition tape in. I put it in December, and then I got my first call in February. I actually yelled at the person and told them stop calling my effing phone because I thought it was fake. Uh, and I mean, I had my like straight Philadelphia voice on. I'm like, yo, get off my fucking like I was going ham. And then I got a text and they were like, hey, this is Andy from Big Brother. And I call back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. That was not, I didn't know who that was. Like, I was like, what do you need? My social security number? I didn't care. And he told me, you're you're fabulous. We want to, have you, we consider you to be on the show. We would love to have you. And I was like, great. And then, I was a unicorn, as they like to say. Someone where they're like, we got to have him type of thing. Um, and once I got made it towards the, time to talk to producers and stuff like that, I'll never forget that one of the producers on the casting team pulled me aside and he was like, Your internet sucks. We need to fix this. You're sweating. All this crazy shit got me together. It got me together. And I'm very thankful for that moment because I was like, okay, I guess I'm not the shit. But once he did that and I came back, past the flying colors, and I was packed and ready to go. But the process is very nerve-wracking because you really don't know. Like it can't tell you the truth. It's you would think like you're gonna like they're gonna sell your body parts to a different country because like they just kidnap you and you just
Like, all right,
Too
well,
like
much
what
for you,
now?
and they,
Pack it up.
yep,
yeah, they're like, okay, we're
that's it.
kidnapping, but it's like, baby, I don't know who you are. Like you come to the house, they kidnap you to take some videos of you, and then it's like, all right, let's go. We're hopping on the plane now. And you're like, okay. So it was a crazy process, but it was I'm very thankful that I did it.
So you enter the house that first day. You size
Mhm.
up the competition. Did you know? Did you have a feeling? All right, I'm going towards the end here. My social game's gonna carry me here. What was your thoughts from that initial jump from the get-go with the first competition?
So the first competition, I was like, oh my God, I could have won it because I was right behind Frenchie. And I was like, damn, if I would just move my fat ass a little quicker. But I was also at ease because I remember just being like, I'll tell you what's really going through my head. Why the fuck is it so hot in this bitch? I was
Polite.
sweating bullets. And keep in mind, some people came in with long sleeves. Like
Yeah.
Kyland had on a whole tie and vest, and I think Brent had on a long sleeve and all that. Like I was like, I'm in shorts and I'm still dying.
Yeah.
But I remember the process of just when I walked to the house, I was like, I can't believe I'm here. But I also walked in feeling like, oh, baby, I'm about to run circles around these people because I'm just going to be the socialite that you never want to send home. And
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to notice that because it doesn't come off. People could be fake. I mean, you could read, like, people could
Yeah.
read you fake. They're like, man, I don't trust that person because it's fake. For me, it never came out that way. I was just journaling myself, and me being myself allow people to feel comfortable. And, now, yes, of course, if I go compete again, it's going to be hard for me to be
Right.
myself
No
because people are
target.
going to be like, well, Big D's going to be himself and people are going to love Big D and they're going to want to keep him to the end. I'm going
Yeah.
to have to come up with another method. I'm actually going to have to probably, pick up a table or two and figure it out. So,
Joe, I think the two players from the games that I've watched that have had the best social game, obviously Big D and
I know who you're gonna say.
Enzo,
Of course,
two-time runner-up.
right.
The social game, just when you're in there, you're probably bored a lot, so you want to have good people around you, entertaining,
Yep,
and they'll take you far. So I think that's the way to play it.
yeah,
absolutely.
it's long, guys. Like now that you guys like really bring it up, it's long.
Yeah.
Like, and
Luckily,
it's
you didn't do the
long.
100-day season. That was insane last season.
Oh, technically, if you really look at it, almost everybody kind of does 100 days.
Like
They
Right.
probably do like
Buster, right?
100.
They did 100 days plus the days before and the days after.
Quarantine, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. But I will say being in that house, you're so bored. You're like, oh my God. Like
Were
there's
they
time.
were they COVID testing you in the house or just before?
Oh, yes.
Every,
I think we got COVID test every week,
okay.
almost every 2 days or something like that. I can't remember, but it was torture. But I will say it when you're in that house, be thankful that you have people that entertain you.
Yeah.
Like I know BB24 had nobody entertaining. So
Yeah.
I like as like entertaining, doing stuff, playing games and things like that. But it was like stressful. Sometimes I had to remember that I gotta keep this, I gotta keep Big D up because sometimes
Yeah.
I'll be checked out and I'll be wanting to come back to Philly and be like, damn, get this fucking dude out of here. Like there's sometimes I felt myself being like, oh my God, I can't wait to get this person out. Like, but I still had to, yeah, right. Yeah, let's play Mafia, guys. What you guys want to do today? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. That's why I was like, yeah, bitch, I earned some type of money at this end. I'm making it to the end. I need to get paid for all this damn entertainment that I
That's
provided
right.
America and also provided the house guests.
Yeah, of course. Such a drag. You provide the entertainment, you provide the fun. At least you provide some, energy level uptick when
Yeah.
everybody kind of needs it. So as of this recording, once we're completed with this, I mean, technically we will have had half the cookout on with us. We've had Kylan on with us before. We've had Hannah on with us before.
You had
Xavier,
Kylan?
yeah, we
Yeah.
had Kylan on with us
How
way
long was
back
his?
when.
3 hours?
It was over an hour, I think. It
think
was
it was
really
like
good.
an hour,
It was
hour and
really,
10.
really good. This is
Listen,
trending in the
I
same
mean,
direction.
Derek, nothing against your background here, but Kyland was like outside in front of a fireplace in California
Yeah,
in his Bel Air sweatshirt.
it was really
Oh,
fun. Yeah.
please.
So we've had both of
Please.
them on with us. You're gonna make three.
Oh,
Xavier gave me the okay at the premiere party, so we're gonna hope to have him on soon. Talk
oh,
about a
you'll
little
be
more about
bored
him
with that
soon.
one. That's gonna be boring too.
He's got a new TV show coming out. His new reality
Yeah,
show.
The Anonymous. Sounds boring. No, I do want
Oh
to
my
give him
God.
credit that he is doing another show. So I'm excited to see
Did
how
you
it
root
turns.
for X in the reindeer games? Was he the one you wanted to win? Did you watch that, the reindeer games?
Yeah, I definitely wanted. No, I was okay with X winning as long as he was going to give me some money. But if he wasn't going to give me no money, I don't want him winning. But I definitely tell you the truth, I definitely wanted Danielle to win.
Interesting.
That's the only person I was really rooting for to win was
Yeah.
Danielle. That's just because she.
I was just rooting for Josh to lose, and I got my wish.
Oh, I love Josh, and I get it. Some people, how they feel about Josh, but Josh has did like such a crazy transformation, and he really is like my brother. Because you gotta keep in mind, like Josh was, me and Josh, he was at my neck when I came out the Big Brother house, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What up, though?" Like I was like anybody can get it because I was on high alert after the Big Brother house. I was ready to like, all right, now I got to do this facade. Let me show y'all who the hell I am.
Mhm.
But he's, I love him. But I'm trying to think who else was there. Like, I didn't want Frankie to win. I didn't want Cody to
Taylor.
win.
Taylor. Taylor's very
I
popular
didn't.
among the super
Yeah, of
fans.
course. I didn't want Taylor. I didn't want Taylor to win, and I didn't want Nicole Franzo to
Taylor
win
already
either.
had her money, so
Yeah.
just won
I
it.
wanted Danielle or Brittany to win, and of course, if they don't
Brittany
win,
was Brittany's always a fan favorite, always popular. But she's there.
yes,
She's like you. She's there to provide the entertainment. She's there to provide the
Got
laughs
some good lines.
and great
I'm
lines.
okay.
It's just all natural. It just comes naturally to you guys.
Yeah, I would say, and Brittany's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to be so like I can do that when I watched her. And when I was doing my binge watch before I went on to Big Brother, because I watched all the seasons. Like once when did I watch all the seasons? Once I put the audition tape into December, and then especially once I got the call, I didn't watch all the seasons, I'm not gonna lie. Like I probably started at like season 10 or
Yeah.
like when it's Danielle and Evil Dick season I started at and I watched
There's
it.
eight.
Thank you, 8. So I started my way up, but I skipped some in between. And then tell you the truth, and I know people don't like this, but the only reason I love season 15 is because there was so much chaotic stuff happening that
We just had Gina Marie on, and she was our friend who kind of helped us introduce us to people that we didn't know when we were at the premiere party.
okay.
She's
That
another Staten Islander, so it's just the Staten
that
Islanders. So
season,
we always stick together, and for some reason, they typecast. They love casting people from Staten Island. It's just
of course.
our personalities lend ourselves
What's
The
her
to
name?
accent.
What's,
the
what's her
show.
name at the party from BB6?
JoJo.
No,
Yes.
no. Well, JoJo was on not season 6, but she was on a season before Gina Marie.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
she was
but
on
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
so she was on season. Oh, okay, so she was on season 14. But I mean, just based on just that season, season 15, it was one of my favorites because I remember laying on the couch, which everybody loves making fun of me for laying on the couch. I was laying on the couch in the basement, and I remember I got the 15, and I actually was able to be like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens next week. Like, because it was just so much, it was so many problematic people in that season, so much stuff happening, but I was hooked. And that's probably one of my favorite seasons because it was so problematic. Besides my season, that's probably one of my favorites. And is there anything else that I consider a favorite season for me? I mean, to tell you the truth, the way 26 is going might be early, but
Mhm.
I might put it up on there because on the roster of my favorite seasons. Because right now I only got 15 in my season.
All
All
right.
right.
I'm hoping Angela can run the table, but I think she's got a big target on her back. But she's awesome. Great TV.
You
They
never
don't want to
play the
get rid of.
game.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to get rid of her.
No, it's sometimes you just gotta know when to play the game, when to kind of ease your foot off the gas pedal. I think in recent years we've seen that people who play the game too fast, too early, too soon tend to go home not long after that. Uh,
Hmm.
so we'll see what happens with Angela. So before we went off on a tangent, I mentioned the Cookout.
Oh,
The
sorry.
Cookout group is probably the most well-known group from your season.
Any season.
Or any season, right? Definitely one of the best groups of all time. So
Thank
talk
you.
to about just the involvement in the Cookout.
Yeah.
Who
How
was the
you
mastermind? Was it really
And
Tiffany?
it was Tiffany.
Okay.
Tiffany was the mastermind.
Yep.
She did come up with the plan.
She was the
Um,
G from your season.
yeah, she was like, she presented the chessboard. She put everything in place. Me and Xavier kind of dibble dabble with some ideas, but nothing as in like tense as Tiffany did. Tiffany came up with the mastermind plan. Xavier came up with the name. The only thing that I did was literally bring everybody together. Before they came up with the name, before the mastermind plan was put into place, day 1 and 2, because of my social, I was already like, hey, just so that you know, me and you gonna work together. We're gonna work with everybody else that look like us. This what we gonna do. Like I'm doing what I would do
Yeah.
in
The
a
glue. You were the glue that held everything together.
right. This was a
That's why
survival.
you won. That's why you were the runner up.
Yes, this was the survival. This was like, I'm thinking like I gotta get people behind me, but I also got a mission here. So I'm like, this is the first time I've seen so many of us. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to make sure everybody knows. So the only person I did not talk to was Hannah. I don't think I talked to Hannah until later on. But Tiffany already had a conversation with Hannah after like maybe day 2 because I was worried because Hannah was having a panic attack. She was throwing up. Also, Hannah was a little chatter too. So,
Mm,
me and Ozzy were like, I don't know if we could tell her. She's young. She might not like, she might
right.
spill it out. She's a part of it, but let's don't tell her Big D. And I was like, okay, I won't tell her. But once, she knew about it, then we brought her in. But then that's when Xavier came up with the name. And then a couple weeks later, probably after like Frenchie's gone and all these other people are gone, Tiffany kept trying to figure out how we're going to get to the end, how we're going to get us all to the end. And then that's when she came up with the scenario.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be the biggest alliance, the all, POC alliance, to have, to break a lot of barriers in that season is great. I know people don't like the fact that we were steamrolling, but I have to say this, if it had to be any type of people steamrolling, I'm glad it was us. Oh well. But if you run the game correctly, look how it can be executed because it's hard to get out all those people without them still putting 2 of us on the
Oh,
block,
right.
even when they had chances
Yeah.
to do that. So,
Absolutely.
I know people are like, oh, it's a boring season because we already saw what was going to happen. But in reality, I feel like we were still providing entertainment all the way up to the end because we were all arguing with each other, cursing each
Mm.
other out,
Well,
throwing
let's talk
each other
about
underneath the bus.
one of the big fights. And I got off my couch. I was screaming at you, "Do it!" You were like, you wanted to get Tiffany out. You wanted to take her out at the end there. I'm gonna talk you off the
Yes.
ledge. So talk to us about what was going through your mind at that point and how the other people in the group were able to calm you down because you had enough. You wanted her out at that point.
You know what? There was a lot of factors that added into my rival with Tiffany, which is so funny because now Tiffany's my best friend. We talk every day. We have the Heavy Crown Network together. I love her. Like she's literally like my wife. I love her to death. But when you're in that house, just like what Angela and you see going through now, people don't understand when you're in that house. I don't know you like that. So I only go off of how an interaction with me and you acts, and then you're hooked. So like me and Tiffany were already butting heads week 1, and there was, like I said, I don't like to repeat the things because like I said, it's a lot, but there was things that I said that she kind of snapped at me, and then I was like, oh, okay. And that was it for there. I was like, oh, I see what type of chick you are. So I was already turned off from the get-go. And then her and Ozza weren't getting along. So that just added even more to the flame. Then, it was like Tiffany's calling all the shots. She wasn't really like listening, which is fine
Right.
because you don't have to listen, but it was also like, oh babe, like you're not the leader. So it was just a lot. But what calmed me down was the fact that we did have this goal of a six, but
Hmm.
I also knew, to be honest with you, I was like, I'm still gonna get the last laugh because you're gonna be the first one out. I don't care what I have to
Right.
do. I can go second after you, but you got to be the first one out. So, I think it was just I had to think about Xavier. I had to think about Hannah. I had to think about Ozza. I had to think about Kylan at the time. Like I had to think about the cookout members. I'm like, I can't, I can't fight with Tiffany and stuff like this, or like want to blow up, because that storage room could have went completely different than what it was. Like it would have, if there was no like cookout, oh, it would have been on and popping.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't, because she was yelling at me, I would have been yelling. It would have been like, oh, it would have been a lot of words. Like
Hmm.
it would have been a yelling match. So it's just like one of those things where um I had to bite my tongue because I'm thinking in my head, or the first thing I thought in my head was, oh damn, she's talking really loud. And if she's gonna act like this, I want people to hear her.
Yeah.
Let people hear how she act. And that's what I was thinking in my head when that was happening. And then also the cookout members, like, Claire's here, DX is here. They're all hearing all this stuff. And it's like, we also still talking in tongues while we're arguing. We're like, I wouldn't, because I care about the, and it was just like all that. But yeah, that's what held me back. But I am very thankful that we were able to come together, because it's crazy when you look at the six, as you mentioned, the six people that you would think would be like, oh, close, close, best friends. It's like everyone is like completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how the dynamic has changed. Like I would say me and Tiffany are the closest out of the whole cookout. And then like, then I feel like it's Tiffany and Hannah. Then it's like me and Hannah. And then it's like, everybody, me and Ozza. You wouldn't think that me and Ozza were to work it out. We were to work it out. But then you got Ozza and Kyland. You would have never thought that. Like it's crazy how the dynamic changed after the house.
So Tiffany is now your bestie, and you host Royalty together.
Yes.
That's great.
Thank you. Yes.
So we miss one dynamic in the group, Kylan and Xavier, right? So what was your reaction to Kylan and Xavier's argument,
Yeah.
and how did
He
they
was the
clear
only
the
one. He
air?
was the only one there for it. So.
Right, and how did they clear the air the post show?
You know what? It took a lot of healing. They had to have conversations on the side. I don't really know, if they're like thick as
Do you think it
thieves
was just
now.
heat of the moment? Because they seem like two good dudes, you know?
You know what? They are two good dudes. But I will tell you, in that moment, I was pissed. Because I was pissed? Because they took my fucking moment. I'm sending Kylan home. The person that I kissed, the person that like everyone thought I wouldn't send home, I'm sending Kylan home. And now everyone can only remember them two about the fight. And I was so annoyed because I wanted Kylan, because I'm also not gonna lie, baby. I love doing reality TV. So I wanted you to yell at me so I can, because I was gonna light him up like a firecracker. Xavier was nice.
Yeah.
No, I would have got him to, I would have read him for Phil. But he didn't direct that energy towards me. And I was like, I'm the one sending you home. Like you trusted me for us to go to the final together. I'm sending you home. But all he could focus on was Xavier. And I was really upset because I was like, dang, y'all took my moment. Y'all really did take my moment. That's all I was thinking. But other than that, I was like, I was already over it. So I was like, get out of here. I don't care now because you ruined my moment. And Ozzy too. Ozzy was just like, all right, we just here. And I'm like, yeah, girl, we here. And I was never gonna send Ozzy home. I told Ozzy, if she knows, I would take her as far as I can. And I wanted us to work as much as possible, but there was just so many factors. I'm telling you, people don't understand that house is like the upside down world in Stranger Things. Like when you enter there, everything is heightened to 100. Because what they do is psychologically,
Yeah.
you said that word correctly, they they mentally kind of mess with us. You take everything away from us. You kidnap us. You keep us in this hotel for could be up to 2 weeks. We see the sunlight. We never leave the room. You feed us like we're mouses. You bring us our food. You bring us our medicine. And then it's like, okay, we just locked you up for 2 weeks. Now you get in this house and you're like so hyped to see other people. We can talk and we can move around. And then it's like you're doing all this talking and talking and talking for the next 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
And then we haven't had time to like take a second to, hey, Nick, how are you? Hey, Josh, how are you? Oh my God, how's everything outside the world? It really is like mentally messes with you. And then you're like hyping, you're paranoid. Like I understand Angela, like staying up at night, crazy eyes, and all this other stuff.
I
Because
gotta say, that's the best nickname I've ever heard on the show. And if I was Mr. Crazy Eyes, I would have been working with somebody today to create my merch and be selling my Crazy Eyes shirts.
I literally tweeted that yesterday. I said he should be making crazy eye glasses, crazy eye shirts, and he better be running to like his social media and working it out. Who's ever doing his thing? I literally gave him a whole brand because for
Yeah.
me, I came in the house with a Clack fan, so I made sadly to evoke Clack fans, but like he better figure it out because I was like, I just gave you 2 ideas and it's great. So yeah, people just it's just hyping to 100. Tell you that just that. So, be prepared if you ever do go do Big Brother. Be prepared. It's a lot.
Well, so
Expect the unexpected too.
you got to go in there and think about your personal brand from the jump. So that's the
Yeah.
way you got to play these days.
Mhm.
That's for sure. So when we saw you at the premiere party, you said you promised you'd spill the tea. So far, you've been spilling the tea. So I want to know how do you guys come up with these coordinated handshakes and dances on eviction night in the hallway? Do you know ahead of time the order you're going in? Because that's the only way I could think about how you would coordinate those dances.
So actually, what we did do is we just like we don't know what the order is going to be. We do have like a little bit of like what we think is going to be. So we would just sit there and be like, "Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're going to do this." Like we would just say what we're going to do with each of the house guests if it ends up being,
Hmm.
me and Brittany or me and Sarah Beth or something like that. Like that's what we did. We couldn't know who was going to be next, and that's what we came up with it. So of course, Joseph had a big D moment where like I'll never forget. And when he was standing there, I was like, I know that feeling. Because I remember just standing there like, okay, where's the person to come to the door? Like, and I felt so bad for Joseph because I know that.
That was last night. Yeah, he's
Yes,
like
I
he thought
felt
someone else
so
was
bad.
coming in.
Yeah, I felt so bad last night seeing him do that. But yeah, we just don't know. So we just come up with it. So it's like next time I see you, Joseph, me, you gonna do this. Next time I see you, we're gonna.
Crazy eyes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's all. Yeah. The crazy eyes and the stucker, BB stuckers, as I learned
The
in
BB
last
guns.
week. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we do.
All right. This is an open-ended question, so you could
Okay.
give us whatever you want, but what is something that we as viewers don't know either about the Big Brother house itself or specifically from your season?
Hmm. I don't know. I think that everyone don't know about me cursing out Kyland.
Ooh, well, what happened? He didn't like the BLT you made you?
When Kylan was up for eviction next to Alyssa, um, Kylan was very upset that he had to sit on the block, or was he sitting next to Claire? I can't remember one or the other, and he was like barking orders at me and Ozza and yelling at us and telling us what we need to do and make sure we don't go. Like I think his paranoia kicked in, like we were gonna go back on our word, and I remember, once whoever went home, I pulled Kyla in the back room, and it might have been Alyssa. And this was probably right after we did the whole like cookout on three, one,
Yeah.
two, whatever. And it was just the six of us. And I went ham. I was like, listen, motherfucker, don't you ever in your fucking life talk to me like that, dog. I would beat like I was straight Philly. There was no big D. Like the whole Frazier came out. And Kylan tried to stand 10 toes, but unfortunately he only stood on one pinky toe. And I let him know, and he got it because he's never seen me like that. But that's one thing that people didn't get. And I wish that we could incorporate that into, I wish it was shown, because then it would have kind of maybe cleared off my plate of people thinking that I only want to argue with the women, because that wasn't the case. Like,
Mhm.
I argued with Kylan, I argued with Alva, I argued with Tiffany, I also argue with Brett. Like, I argued with people, but they just didn't want to give me that credit. So I was annoyed because I was like, damn, that probably would have like helped. So that's the one thing I can say that people never saw and whatnot. So
Listen, I mean, you and Kyland, it seems like you like to tease him. I don't know if he likes it too much. I was watching your Instagram stories after the premiere party in the streets, like, oh, Kyland, you finally beaten Xavier at something. You're on the challenge. Good for you. He's like, I gotta go. My food's here. No reaction.
Oh my God.
it's just payback for taking my moment. That's it.
Right.
And I tell them that all the time. I say, you took my moment and I'll never forget it. You know?
You're never gonna let him live it.
Because you got to think about it as a jury member. If I was watching that back, all I'm thinking about is, oh my God, Kyland and Xavier are gonna fight. You're not thinking about like Big D just sent down home somebody he said he would never send home.
Right.
Like things like that. So but listen, I at least it's coming from me. It's coming from a friend than coming from one of these trolls.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm always messing. They know I'm messing. It's nothing ever personal. I do say what's on my mind, but it's not a way. I'm very proud of Kylan. The fact that he has worked his ass off to get on the challenge. Now he's going on his third season of the challenge that comes out in August.
Guy's becoming one of the staples, a core member, star
We
of the
love
Yeah,
show.
him. He's
And
a
yeah,
last
star.
season, he got screwed. He got screwed.
correct. That
So,
is true. That is true. And listen, the way I look at it is, if anybody in Big Brother 23, and that means everyone outside the cookout, if any of them ever do anything, I'm 100% always going to back them up, always going to be a staple. Of
mhm.
course, challenge room's a little shaky. Okay. But other than that, I'm always going to support anybody, because let me tell you something. Anytime they're my friends, anytime you guys are doing something,
Yeah.
bitch, that means I'm still doing something. That means I'm still out here in these streets able to talk. So
Yeah.
I need one
Yeah.
of these BB 26 members to say evoke so I can continue my trend. Because right now I'm getting nervous. I'm really nervous. Each year someone has said it. So it's a little scary.
Let's talk about the continued support, right?
Yeah.
Your social media channels. How did your social media following in particular change once you left the game, post show, after you got out? What was the difference? Was it there a significant difference? Did you create a lot of new fans with your personality?
I'm sorry. Yes, I have created a lot of new fans, and not just in the Big Brother family, also in the Survivor family, because I love Survivor. I wish I could do Survivor. I would do Survivor in a heartbeat. I'd be so skinny and so snatched. I wouldn't have to be going to the gym every day. I would look so good. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so skinny. I'm gonna feel crap. Like, I would love to do Survivor. Um,
Oh,
but I will say I made a lot of like fans that I now know their faces. I know their names. I have a relationship with them. I know who they are. And it's nice, when I came out the Big Brother house, it was very overwhelming. Of course, your fandom goes up and things like that. But I think that what people have to understand is that all this social media stuff is a facade.
Hmm.
okay.
Um, you can 1 minute, the thing about it is like, you 1 minute you could have a big following and you can lose lots of them. There was some point where I was at 70K. I'm now down to 60K. Like, people lose interest in people, as the seasons go on, as things happen, and depending on how you post. What I've learned is that I rather take 10 followers who are loyal and love Big D, and like I feel like they enjoy the stuff that I do no matter what I post, than 100, 200K people who are gonna just fluctuate and leave every day. But it has allowed me to meet people, that I probably never would have met before, have conversations, just like how we're having conversations. And I've always been a people's person. So this has always been a big deal to me of being able to meet people because I watched my dad do it. Watching my dad meet people, sign autographs, how he act with people taught me how to act and how to, be there and present. And I'm not one of those people that, because sometimes you meet people that are like, yeah, yeah, whatever. He goes, yeah, take a picture, fake bullshit. I actually like to have a conversation because even if I meet 100+ people, at least I can say, you know what, Nick, Joseph, I remember the conversation we had. Thank you so much for reminding me. And that's what I like. I don't like where it's like, did I meet you? Like, or what? And you're like, I met you 5 times.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't like that because we're all human. Just because I might have done a show doesn't make me better than you or anybody else. And I'm very appreciative of the people that do give us the platform and support. So, shout out to the fans, shout out to all the supporters. Truly appreciate it. And thank you. And hey, guess what? One day it's going to be your turn. And I'm going to be like, I'm your number one
I think
fan.
that's a great mindset to have. We don't really hear that too often from people we have on in the reality verse. So I
I'm
appreciate you
completely
saying that.
different. I grew up in the streets. I'm
All
completely
right.
different. There's people that don't like really don't need their following.
Hmm.
Like really don't. But that's what people like. So
Yeah. So why do you think it is that everyone is afraid to be your partner on the challenge, and that's kind of kept you off? And obviously, if there was like a punching bag challenge, you'd excel in it. But what other challenges do you think you'd excel in? Because I don't know why. I just feel like, coming from the streets of Philly, if they were like, you got to eat this gross shit, you'd be like, all right, I'll do it and get it done real quick.
done. Um, I think you guys know what happened with Ride or Die season.
Yep.
That was a little bit stab to the gut.
Hmm.
That wasn't supposed to be like this ride or die season. It was supposed to be another free agent season. I was set up, ready to go. I had to rush a passport. I was excited, you know. I wasn't in the best shape as I am now. So I mean, I'm kind of like, maybe it was meant to be. But it still didn't matter to me because I just at least wanted to go and do something
Right.
different and compete.
Yeah, I think you could have did better than Tommy Bracco. He was
I
he
mean,
was embarrassing.
oh that's iconic. To me, that is iconic because I don't think of Tommy Bracco. When I hear Ride or Die, I think Tommy Bracco. I think of him, and what's her name? Is it Annalise? I think
Yeah.
of those
So you,
two.
do you think it was supposed to be you and whoever in their place?
So no, I don't actually know because me and Tommy were talking before that, and he was already in the same process I was.
Okay.
So he was already going, just like I was supposed to be going. But once they said this partner thing, I remember my agent at the time was trying to rush to find me partners at the last minute, and it was like I couldn't have Alyssa because she was on US1. I couldn't have Aza because she was on US1. I couldn't have Tiffany because I was on US1. They didn't want it to clash. Like they just got done filming, so
Hmm.
they were like, "We don't
Right. They
want
don't want
that."
anything to spill over.
Right.
Correct. So it's like, who else do I have left? And at the time,
Right.
it based on the show, which I could have had Brittany, but I don't know why they didn't want Brittany at the time. Like she wasn't a thing for me, and that's probably because Brittany is. Let me tell you something. Brittany's a great competitor. She's a great athlete, but I think because she's the Disney girl. She's very positive energy. I can't imagine Brittany coming over to the drinking alcohol, challenge show. So I guess there just wasn't in their deck of cards. But I remember just being cut, and I just remember being like embarrassed because all I hear from the fandom is Big D's never going to compete again. Big D's never going to do nothing. Big D is lazy. He's this, he's this. And it's upsetting because it's like you come in second place, you're so close to winning.
Yeah.
You let me show you what I can do with the skills that I had. But I think the reason why people are afraid to have me is because there hasn't been a big guy on the challenge since Big Easy, if you
Big
really want
Easy.
to be honest.
And he
Um,
almost he passed out in a final.
Yes, yes. And you know what? Those were, I believe, if you think about it over the years, even people that are not big passes out from the final.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you have to think about it. It depends on
Well,
how
look
you
at Casey. She's in great shape. She couldn't make it through two finals.
correct. So it's like, and shout out to Casey, because she's a fucking beast, to be honest.
You ever
But
you ever talk to Kyland about him not, he because I we asked him about his USA season. I said, like, if you were in that final, were you completing it? Because only one person completed it for the guys in the USA.
oh,
He's like,
Kylan would
yeah,
have,
Yeah,
100%. I was gonna
I
yeah,
complete
Kylan
that.
would have
yeah, I remember
completed.
that question. Yep.
Yeah, Kylan would have completed it. I
He's
think.
good at Sudoku, he said. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
smart guy.
brain of his is always right now. It's probably right now as we're talking.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I think when I found out, okay, I'm not going, it was a gut. It hurt, but then I was also like, all right, whatever. And I thought maybe I'll be able to do the next season or the season after that. And then I
Yeah.
didn't get a call. And
I
then
can't believe they're not doing USA season three. I
I
mean,
thought they would have.
there's
And
so
that
much
was
good
something.
talent there.
Yeah, and after season two, I was like, oh my God, like I was like, I would be perfect for season three. And I think the thing about it is that I want TV to go back to the way it used to. When the challenge was supposed to be for a basically like the Olympics. You grab all these reality stars from
Right.
different shows
All
and
the
let them
people from all
come
different real worlds and stuff,
all
bring
different
them
real worlds, Big Brother, Survivor, whatever, and you bring them together and let them compete. And you used to have people of all different body frames. The problem that we have now when it comes to these competition shows, they don't want to give big people opportunity. And as they're saying, aka the challenge, it's a liability. I get it. You don't want to put no 350-pound man up in the air, but guess what? You've had plenty of seasons where y'all asses have never scaled a building,
in. Right.
jumped out a plane, or did anything like that. So you can always make accommodations.
Yeah.
But that's what's annoying because for me, I'm part of a powerful alliance. Each member in the cookout has got a chance to compete besides Hannah because Hannah has turned it
Hands
down
down, right.
because she's focused on being a
What's go
doctor.
you
Right.
weren't asked to be on the first USA season?
Um,
I just
they
figured they
could
would ask all
they
six
we didn't they called us when we first got done Big
like the
Brother,
day after. Okay.
like a couple weeks after, and they were talking about we're gonna leave at Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh no, I just got home.
Right.
I'm still mentally effed up. But
Yeah.
because I said no at the time, which it's crazy to me because some people did say no and still end up getting called to do it.
Tiffany next season. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even think it was because Tiffany did the first season and second
Oh,
season,
she
but
did? Okay.
yeah, but I'm just saying there were some people that had said no and end up still getting the opportunity to go. And I remember being like, but once they moved it to January, leaving in February, I was like, I could have done that. So
Right.
I
Need a little
don't know
break.
what's blocking um my blessings. I'm like, does someone have a voodoo doll on me? Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, does production hate me that much? Because based on production, I was great. I was lovely.
Do you think anybody from the last two seasons of Big Brother, like you're surprised weren't called to do any sort of the challenge or think it
Yes.
could be good? I know he's older, but your buddy Heisem would be so great on the challenge.
Oh yeah, I would have thought I would the people I thought that were gonna get called to do the challenge was Joseph,
Yep.
Isom,
Matt,
Yeah.
Matt, but
Bowie
you
Jane,
yeah, Bowie Jane, yeah, she would be good at stuff too. But
but
here's the thing,
Joseph would have been great.
Joseph would have been great. But I think the thing that they're missing out on that I realized is why are they not like that's why I said I think that's why it was important to keep the Challenge US one
Right.
because keeping the Challenge USA because the Challenge USA would have filtered in all these contestants. We have so many
Yep.
good Survivor, Big Brother,
Yep.
Amazing Race contestants that we could have really kept feeding that show.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, because I thought it was great and it gave people so many more opportunities to
Yeah.
compete.
And I
And
was
then
surprised because like Alyssa, she was a killer on USA and they didn't bring
she
her
was
over to like the main show.
That's what I'm saying. I think they missed the mark. And now you gotta think about it because word on the street, I don't know if this is true, and y'all can cut it out. Um, Netflix is doing its own the challenge type of show.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
So they're
Netflix
doing
shows.
yeah, like they're doing their own like taking all their people from their shows to
Yeah.
Netflix and now doing a challenge. And it's like it doesn't have I don't think it has nothing to do with our
Right, right. It's just a
TJ and
challenge
MTV
type
the
of show.
challenge, but I
Yeah, I've been
mean,
saying like, I don't understand why they got rid of USA, but also I thought they could have done like an MTV version of Big Brother in the
Yes.
reverse spectrum. There's just a lot of talent there.
Right.
Take these
There's a
people
lot
from
of
the real
talent.
world and put them in a Big Brother atmosphere.
Absolutely.
But guess what? Now they dropped the bag because now all these other shows, Traders and all these other shows, now Anonymous, all these other
Anonymous.
shows, yeah, are now
House of
making
Villains.
House of Villains. Would love to do House of Villains.
Ellen.
Like all these
Oh,
other shows
can't wait
are
for the next season with
me too.
Teresa and Wes.
Candy
Give-
Muse. I mean, it's everything I need and more. But you have all these other shows that
Yeah.
are now making more shows and now calling the talent that these networks
Right. Because
to be
what do you guys have at your
put into.
2 year contract from Big Brother? So after
Yeah.
that, you're free to go and do an anonymous or whatever you want to do.
Of course, but you gotta get the call. But you gotta think
Right.
about it. A lot of these shows want people that are like fresh off their season. So
Yeah,
when my
yeah.
phone was ringing like crazy, I'm like, no, no, no.
Can't
Like
do
I
it.
was,
Not allowed.
I was actually I was supposed to do Bad Boys Club season one.
Okay.
But the reason I didn't end up doing Bad Boys Club season one is because of my 2 year CBS
Contract.
Uh,
contract. Yes. So,
So I know your answer is yes, and you would do it, but is reality TV in your future still, or is that thing in the past?
it is in my future, but it depends on I, like how much longer I gotta wait. Like I mean, to come off a season of coming in second place, I should have been like one of the first to be called who's hungry, but it
Yeah,
still is my future. My phone is available. I am 40 pounds lighter. I've been training. I'm ready. I'm still not going to be able to run, but I'm going to try my best. But I damn sure can throw, break somebody's neck, carry a bunch of shit. You want me to eat some shit? Let me eat some shit. I'm not eating no bugs. I'm not eating
Uh,
no bugs.
we
listen,
think you'd be
I think
perfect.
there's competition shows. There's other type of shows that you'd be great on. But
It's
I
hard, Nick.
think
It's hard, Nick, because you got to think about it. I will tell you, I'm gonna give you a little tea. I'm gonna give you a little tea. Even though we all are in the same, reality world. Let's say I hit you up and I'm like, hey Nick, I saw you did so and so. Would you
yeah,
mind, putting in the word or giving that person's contact? What would you say, Nick?
I personally would be like, yeah, I'll try. But people are gonna be like, no, we're your competition. You'll take my spot. I'm not gonna help you out.
People don't want to give that information up. People don't want to look out for each other. Where for me, I will tell you this. It, the members in the cookout for me always are looking out for me.
Yeah,
Um, there's some things that are questionable at times, but Kylan, I could say, and Kylan and Xavier for me are two that have put a good word in. Kylan has gave like when he got done challenge USA one, he was like, here, why don't you email this person, this person, this person? Like he was trying to help me get,
yeah,
back on TV. So I always believe in helping each other. Just like I've helped my friends who have auditioned for Big Brother, and I'll sit there and be like, "Hey, my casting person, my friend put a casting tape in." Like, it's just
yeah,
like the kind thing to do, but people don't want to see you get better than them because once I come on the show, you got a hit show in your hands. You got
yeah.
iconic diary room sessions. You're gonna
There's,
have
there's a
if you,
show. There's a show you'd be great on, but I think if anyone watched Big
but
Brother, they blow your cover. It's Claim to Fame with the Jonas Brothers.
I would do that, but I don't think. But you got to think
Everyone
about
would know right away though,
no,
because
they wouldn't though, because
if
everybody
they didn't
don't
watch
watch.
the show, I guess Big Brother, I guess, yeah.
Correct. I would love to do that.
The
I
Joe, I don't know
actually,
if you watched that show, but basically it's like all relatives of famous people come in a house and they have to like guess who's who and the last person standing. So
I would do it, but I mean, what's not going to help is I'm gonna be sweating. I got to put on long sleeves the whole time because I got boxing gloves. I got my dad's autograph. Like I'm gonna have to wear long sleeves or.
right, you got to cover
Yep.
up your arms.
I would do it. I did an audition for, I auditioned for that. What else I auditioned for? Jesus Christ,
Well,
I've
let's get
auditioned
big
for
deep
a
in
lot of stuff.
Survivor.
Yeah, I
Survivor.
auditioned for Survivor. I might actually put a tape in this week for Survivor because I just
Who would be your amazing race partner?
um. It would definitely be my best. It would definitely be, you know what? It was so funny because me and Tiffany said we would do it together. So me and Tiffany would do it. If not, it would be my best friend Sierra.
Okay.
I did audition 3 times for Amazing Race with an old friend of mine. And we never got a call. But yeah,
Maybe you would
that was
now.
my
I mean,
original dream.
I think you get it. But me and Joe have been
Someday.
saying like when they usually after like what 6, 7 years they do the all-star seasons of Big Brother. I want the next one to just be everybody who came in second place. I don't want people who came in like,
Yeah.
15th place and like this. Yeah, maybe there's a few exceptions, like Michael. He was
No,
a comp beast. You could maybe sneak him in,
we
or
don't care about
DX. But I want all
I don't know who that is.
second place winners.
I don't know who that is. I do agree with you when you say this. If you did a season of all runner-ups, think about how crazy we would be because we were
Yeah.
so close. We
Right.
have never, all of us have never seen a jury house.
Hmm.
We never were out before pre-jury. So we would be like hungry and it would be iconic. That's why I said if I'm trying to look at it this way, if I'm not getting on TV, maybe it's because maybe I'm waiting for a Big Brother All Stars. But it's like, when are you going to do that? Season 30?
All right. What was the last one, Joe? 22, right? Right
Yeah, it
before.
was recent. Like, yep. And
So
listen,
could be 30. They
they
might
gave
wait for it.
Cody another chance, and he
Oh yeah,
won.
I would do reindeer games. Like I was saying, they should bring me back, and I could be like the Grinch.
I think
Why
he would
weren't you
do
a
excellent.
reindeer? You could have been the Grinch, right?
Could have been the Grinch. Would have been the great Grinch. So it's like if they
Oh
do
my
that, I
God.
would tell you this: if they do it one more year, and keep in mind, they called Tiff, they called Derek.
They have plenty of talent to do it at least one or
Everybody
two more
was
times.
everybody was
Yeah.
in it for from your season, but you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, who? Like, I really do feel like production does not like me. Did they lie to me? Because I'm like, why am I not getting the call to do shit? I entertain. I had production laughing in the
Big
diary room.
D, Big D, you can't chase it. You got to attract it.
I don't know how to attract it. I lost 40 pounds now.
You got to keep going, man.
I'm trying.
You're looking good, man. When we
You
saw
are
you in
looking good.
person, I was like,
Absolutely.
he looks like he's getting ready for a competition show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm not playing no games. But yeah, I would love to do BB reindeer games. I would do that in a heartbeat. And I would love to come back. Like my character would be the Grinch, because since everyone's so like, oh, I hate Big D. All he did was sleep and lay around and he didn't do shit all day and laying on his back and all this other shit. I would love to be the Grinch. If not, I would love to come in as Santa Claus. So
That'd
one
be
or the
funny.
other.
That'd be
There's
really great show.
opportunities. So I just need my phone to ring. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm like, what do I have to do? But I am out here like everybody else auditioning. Like I'm putting in casting tapes. Like I'm probably going to put in a casting tape for Survivor next week just for the hell of it. Just to kind of like see, since they did a crossover with having Sari, coming to Big
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
How about X on the Beach? Could you convince one of your exes to come on that show? Or what's the
Um,
other one?
I probably could go back.
The Jersey Shore All Star show. That's a
Fuck it.
competition
Let's put him on Love Island.
show.
At this point, yeah.
The
Yeah, they
Grinch
should have
has
a
entered the
they should have
villa.
they should, I had an idea. And it was so funny. Actually, let me not say this was my idea. I was talking to a friend of mine, Dash, for Squid Games, and me and Dash were in the car, and Dash was like, how fun would it be if they did like a perfect match gay edition or a lot like a Love Island gay edition, and not the typical like everyone's this white six-pack jock
Yeah.
who's like super pretty
Real
hair, like
people.
every type of real people, all different type of gay men, all different type of frame, and they go and do this love show. It would be chaotic. Chaotic. And also, All Shores is a joke. I wouldn't dare do that. I wouldn't do that. That's a joke of a show. I would never do that.
Yeah, I don't even know who those people are. I know the Jersey Shore people. Like
I
obviously
definitely
me,
would love to do Jersey
Angelina.
Shore. I was the Jersey Shore real world person. Like that's what I envisioned myself to do. I
Yeah.
used to audition every year from age 21 to like
Mhm.
26. I was auditioning
I
every
miss the
year
real world.
to do real
I
world.
don't know.
I miss the classic Real World.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
I think a show you'd be great on, but I don't know if this town could handle you. Would be Summer House. You in the Hamptons with these people. I mean, come on now.
Let me tell you something. I would eat it up. I would do it in a
You
heartbeat.
Oh, you would eat these people alive.
What I really
They're
wish they
not
would
because they're not because they all come from a certain background. They would not be ready for you and the street talk, and you would fucking
The
rip them a new
arguments.
ones.
That's why I said if I go back into the Big Brother house, I know for a fact, I will be honest, I'm not winning. And the reason I'm not winning is because of the fact that I would be there trying to talk to the fucking cameras because people ask me,
Production.
I
Yeah.
don't know what Big D did. And I wasn't worried about talking to the cameras. I was worried about playing the game. But I feel like this time around, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, just so you know, I just talked to so and so and I'm planning to do like that's what I'll be so focused on, which would take me out the game of Big Brother. And I would be trying to make moves that are like crazy. You'd be like, what is he doing? And it's like, I gotta make moves to show I'm a player. That's what would happen to me going through my head because of how like people were saying stuff. But I definitely would do I would do BB Reindeer games. I would do traders. I don't feel like they're gonna call me for traders. I feel like they're calling people like back in the day, Big Brother players.
Yeah, Janelle
I would do House
Dan.
of Villains. I would do the challenge. I would do Squid Games. I would do any of these shows that allow me to just be me. But I wish they would give the Cookout a like Jersey Shore Cookout version show. Because we are very like
Right.
we're like Jersey Shore. We be
Well,
fighting,
yeah,
loving each
like
other and
Feud.
everything. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure this interview has now got surpassed Kyland's interview, which is great. This is really fucking good stuff, and we actually
I
want you to be on TV again real soon. So,
no, I have to
we
go.
wish
Can
you
you
the
cut
best.
it? Can you cut it? Yeah,
Well, we have one more.
Island,
Let's
Island's gonna bring you on for the next Ride or Dies.
right. We have one more question though. It's our signature question, so we'll let Nick take it away.
All right. Well, in your life or your career or your reality TV show career, what has been your you know I'm right moment? What I mean by that, it's a time or place where you wanted to pursue something. You asked somebody for advice. They're like Big D, Scorpio 776, whatever. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. It's not going to work for you. And you were like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And in the end, you will see why it is that I'm right about this. And I'll say I told you so.
wow. Oh my God. See, the things that I can say I told you so I can't talk about because they're personal
Hmm.
with other people. But I will say majority of the time that when I say things, it's true. And some people sometimes are like, I don't believe it or I can't believe it and I'm like, no, believe it. Like it's accurate.
Yeah. Heavy
So
is the head that wears the crown.
That's right.
correct.
The Heavy
Correct.
Crown Network.
Yes, the Heavy Crown Network. Yes. So I would just
If Big D
listen
says
to me.
something, he follows through on it, basically.
Yes, that's my thing. If you tell me something, I follow through. Also, just listen to me. Like just listen to me. I know sometimes I might be all over the place sometimes, but if you just like focus, you will find your answer and going straight down the middle of everything else around it that I'm saying. Because I have so much I see so much. I know so much, but I'm not always right. I don't believe I'm always right. But I do know when I'm giving you advice, something in my advice is correct. You just gotta find it. I'm sorry, babe. I can't find it for you. It's there, but I can't find it for you. But when you find it, you'll go, "Oh my God, Big D, you said this." And I'm like, "Yes. See, I'm that girl. Come on."
Well, admitting you're not always right still makes you right in the end. Big D, thank you. It was a little late
Thank you.
doing this, but we had a great time. And we really appreciate you coming on. And we wish you the best of luck. Again, Nick and I, we really hope you could secure some type of TV show gig in the future.
Thank you so
Do
The new
much.
hear
host of The Bachelor. See you, Jesse Palmer.
No, I want, yeah, let me be the bachelor. Like at this point, if you're not gonna give me these competition shows, help me find love at this point.
okay.
Like,
I've been saying for years, not to go on a tangent here, but like they should do they gotta spice up the Bachelor, Bachelorette here. Like they gotta get like a bisexual
no, they picked what's
Bachelor,
his name?
Bachelorette.
What's his name that was straight and then was like, oh, I'm gay, whatever his
Yeah.
name is,
I know who you're
Colton or
talking about.
whatever.
Yeah, the
No,
NFL player, right.
yeah, we don't need that. Like, pick someone like me, a bear, a different
Fair.
audience, a community that's probably never been seen. Right. Bring me on there, get about 20 bears, bring them on there, and let's do a love show. And we can call it The Bachelorette, or we can call it For the Love of Finding Big D. You know, like, why not? Like, I'm trying to give people ideas, and it's just like, they're like this. But I hope, as the society goes, and I'm very glad to see Chemo on this season.
Yeah.
I love that he's a bigger plus man, gay man. I love that. I want to continue showing the different sides of the gay community. That is the reason why I want to compete. And I do have fan bases that I talk to, and people that were just like, I'm just so glad to look at somebody else that looks like they eat and like they love themselves and they love their body and their curves. So that's why I hate how the challenges went from everybody to now it's like I feel like I'm like about to sign up for America's Next Top Model. Like TJ got a damn tape measure and he's like, let me see how small your waist is and let me see how your like that's what
Listen,
it
all I
feels
know,
like.
the Big D is no one's gonna beat you in a hall, bro.
I just want, yes, and that's all in my moment. I just want to slam somebody and just look at the camera and say, this is for you, motherfuckers. That talked all that shit. That's it.
Big D, where can we find you on social media?
You can find my OnlyFans at
Big D.
Big D. No, the Derek Frazier. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter. If you're looking for Big Brother recaps, please always check out the Heavy Crown Network, the Royalty Podcast. We do recaps weekly on each week now. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll manifest in this year, next year. Also to go. See all these shows that came out. Like, I'm like, I can't get a call for anything. We're just gonna manifest. You
We're gonna,
know,
I'm gonna,
Joe
I'm
knows
gonna
all
help you
about
manifest.
manifestation.
That's
you
the
know I'm
conversation for
right.
another time. Yep. It's
You know I'm right
another
that
conversation for another time.
I will get a call to do another show.
All
You
right.
will. Don't worry about it.
Thank you
Well, this
guys.
has been great, Big D. We appreciate the time. Everyone go check out the Heavy Crown Network. We got some great people on there, of course. Big D. Who knows? Maybe Right Crew makes a cameo on that network one day in the future. We'll see. But this has been fantastic, Big D. It's been great speaking to you here for the last hour and a half. Great to meet you at the premiere party. Time flies when you're having fun, and that's what we did at this podcast episode. So far, a very special guest, Derek Frazier, my co-host Joe Calabrese. I'm Nick Durst, and this has been You Know. All right.